What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. And for today's majestic and fantastic video, we are back at it with some more Spider-Man shenanigans, for I'm talking about the Superior Spider-Man, issue number 1. But before we dive into the world of DoctorOctopus, if you are new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So what are you waiting for? Let's raise the bar and go full on Super Saiyan. Hit that subscribe button. Thus, without further ado, let's get heroic and perhaps a little villainous with the Superior Spider-Man, issue number 1. So our majestic story begins with Peter Parker's Spider-Man and his recent protege known as SpiderBoy, who are on the scene to fight off D-list supervillain Mirage. Man, this guy sucks. And right now the villain is using his Mirage-esque powers to rob a bank. Now, full disclosure, you're probably asking the question, hey, wait a minute, who the heck is SpiderBoy? Don't worry about it. DanSlott does a solid job in letting us know who he is without the reader having to already know. Anyways, the pair of heroes are able to make quick work of Mirage because, let's face it, the dude sucks. From there, the heroes celebrate via ice cream. And it's here where the two are chatting about lost time. Because for Bagley, aka SpiderBoy, when it comes to time, everyone in the Marvel Universe has seemingly lost their memories of the time they spent fighting crime with SpiderBoy. Whereas for Peter, he talks about the time that he lost when he was technically dead and DoctorOctopus took over his body and was in control of Peter. Basically, yeah, weird stuff has happened. Which is kind of funny, considering the fact that Spider-Man is your basic everyday fictional character. He's the guy who's supposed to be the most relatable superhero. Spider totems, body transfers, Spider-Verses. Yeah, not really quite relatable, but I digress. From there, the two heroes are then suddenly attacked by Supernova, a supervillain who was introduced back in the Superior Spider-Man Returns one-shot, which of course, if you read that, Supernova was accidentally created by DoctorOctopus during his tenure as Spider-Man. And because of the memory shenanigans and everything that is comic book madness, back in the one-shot, Doc Ock accidentally released Supernova from her prison. But because she remembers Spider-Man being the one who locked her in, she straight up ignores Doc Ock and flies out to confront Peter Parker's Spider-Man. But obviously Spider-Man doesn't know this, because he's never met Supernova before. So for him, this is extremely confusing. Meanwhile, we have Dr. Octopus show up on the scene. However, he doesn't join the fight. Rather, he uses his Octoids to record the fight from afar, given the fact that he's a scientist, and that's what, villainous scientists do. Switching back to the fight, it's here where Peter accepts that Supernova is insanely powerful, and so for him defeating her probably won't happen. And so if he's able to have success later on, he'll have to fight another day. And so with that, Spider-Man uses his webs to knock over a water tower in order to distract Supernova. Afterwards, Peter escapes the fight and begins changing out of his costume into his civilian clothes. However, unbeknownst to Peter, Dr. Octopus's Octoid is shown to be hiding in the alley, meaning the machine's recording has now captured Peter Parker dressing out of being Spider-Man, which means after reporting the information back to its master, the memory floodgates start to pour out of Otto, because now he's starting to remember everything. His time as Spider-Man, his time saving New York City from various Spider-Man criminals, but more importantly, he's reminded on who Spider-Man is, that being of course the one and only Peter Parker. And that, folks, was the end of Superior Spider-Man, issue number 1. And thank you guys for checking out my video, as it truly means the world to me. So yeah, when it comes to Superior Spider-Man, I think the concept of Doc Ock taking over Peter's body and becoming Spider-Man, it's one of those ideas where it just sounds really stupid. Like I remember back then, before getting back into comics, my buddy at the time was explaining to me how awesome Superior Spider-Man was, and how better Otto was at being Spider-Man than Peter. At the time, I was like, no, you're wrong and incorrect, because it just sounded really stupid. However, once I read Dan Slott's original Superior Spider-Man, I was floored away. Not only was I surprised with how good the book was, but it's probably the best thing Dan Slott has ever written in terms of Spider-Man. And this issue feels right at home. It's as if Dan Slott never stopped writing Superior Spider-Man. And hot damn on a stick, I couldn't be more excited. Another thing that the issue does really well is, given the fact that Marvel has about 4 to 10 different Spider-Man books happening at the same time, the issue does a really good job by including the reader. Basically, you don't have to have read anything that's happening in the current Spider-Man. You don't need to read SpiderBoy, nor do you need to read ZebWells' current Amazing Spider-Man. The only thing you probably should have read prior was Dan Slott's previous run of Superior Spider-Man. But even then, the book does a really good job in reminding the reader on what's happened, as well as the context in terms of what's happening at the moment. Overall, the book was really good. Me personally, I'm not really a big fan of what's happening in the main Spider-Man book. Therefore, if you're looking for something to have fun with, a substitute due to what's happening in the main book, Superior Spider-Man is a great choice. So yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you'll never miss out on an upload, and so you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics happening in the comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on this issue? Are you guys excited for issue number 2? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.